What is going on, everybody? My name is Paul Nurkala, aka Nurk FPV, and you are joining us on the FPV livestream. My old tagline for this show used to be "Welcome to yet another episode of the FPV livestream," but I don't feel like that's a very genuine thing to say anymore because we kind of like sometimes do it and sometimes don't. But that's a goal for 2020 is I'm going to be doing a whole bunch more live streaming. We're going to be doing stuff here on the YouTube channel. I'm going to open up a Twitch channel and start doing builds, simming. I'm going to play some games over there. It's going to be fun and all that good stuff. So please stay tuned for more and more here on the FPV live stream. Now, today we're joined by special guest star, the two-time MultiGP champion himself, Mr. Evan Turner.
What's up, guys? I'm excited to get this 533 frame built up, and I'll be in here pretty much the whole time answering your guys' questions. And yeah, if you guys have any questions or comments, please let me know, and I'm happy to get back to you on them. I'll be watching the chat the whole time.
Yeah, so we're just both hanging out together. I know that I kind of get down into the nitty gritty when I'm building, and sometimes I kind of forget to talk. So Evan is going to be here helping me, actually have some entertainment value. So that should be good. And then on top of that, we're just super stoked to both be here. Heading into 2020, doing a lot more live streaming and all that. What I always say at the beginning of these is, if you're a first-time guest and you're here to learn how to build a quad, super excited to be here. This is a good place for you to be able to ask questions and get them answered and learn more about drones. I've got chat up right here on my phone so I can see what you guys are asking about. Definitely hit that super chat if you are feeling so inclined. That kicks a little bit back for us to buy beer and do more streams. So not Evan though. Evan's not yet old enough for that yet. And then if you're a returning guest, I mean, thank you so much for your patronage. I know that this isn't always the most exciting thing to be doing on a Monday night, but I know that hopefully we can continue to create better and better content. Looks like Evan's mic needs to go up, so I just turned him up. So Evan, would you like to give us a mic check?
Mic check, mic check. I think I should be good.
Actually, that might have turned it up a little bit too far, but we'll get that balanced out. So, before we get going with anything, I want to give you guys a quick overview of the parts, and to do that, I'm going to take you back to past Paul. Okay, for this build, we're going to be using the 533 Switchback. That's the frame, the star of the show. You've got its turtle fin, its custom 3D printed mount for the antennas, both receiving and VTX. And you've got the camera mount here up front. It's perfect. The SMA is going to come out the back. And our racing antenna, this is a true RC matchstick, but it's like the really, really baby short kind. It's just going to screw right on the back, and it's barely going to peek out the back. It's perfect. For flight controller, we're going to use the Acon F7 Mini version 1.1. It's a nice little 20 by 20 board. It's going to fit in there perfectly. This is not necessarily my recommended flight controller. It's not one that I've ever used before, but I think I needed something that's 20 by 20, and this seemed like it would fit the bill just perfectly. For our speed controller, we're also using an Acon 32 35 amp 4-in-1 6S capable, also 20 by 20 capable, and I chose these two because they have the perfect mating for cabling for each other. Normally I would recommend the Hobbywing 20 by 20, but because I was already using the Acon flight controller, I wanted to use the compatible electronics, or the known compatible, just because that seemed like the best scenario. For VTX, we're using the TBS Unify Nano 5-volt. Just a nice tiny little receiver. Love this thing. Put it in all of my racing quads. It's going to fit perfectly on this 20 by 20. For camera, we're actually going to use a Runcam Nano, or Runcam Racer Nano. So we'll set this aside for now, but we'll cover that more later. And then for motors, these are Hobbywing 2207 1750 kV motors, lightly used. And these are some of my favorite motors for everything, and for racing especially, and these are going to be perfect for the bill. So that's our set of electronics. All of that's all you need. We've got a receiver. For receivers, I'm using Futaba, the 2001 SBM, which is a tiny little micro receiver for racing drones. So All of the parts shown here, except for the frame, are available on Pyrodrone. I've got links in the description for everything. And I would love to have you support this channel and this live stream by purchasing those parts through the links provided below. And you can get the 533 Switchback on their website, which is also linked below. That's our electronic setup. Now back over to Paul. All right, so those are the parts that we're using on the quad. If anybody comes through here and wants to know what parts we got it all on video, so we can just run that little clip again and you can see exactly what's on here. But like I said, everything in the description below, links back to the products if you purchase through those. If you choose, you're going to be supporting this channel and that what we are creating together. So without further ado, here is the Switchback. So this is the frame that Evan and Mondo have been putting together over the last 6 months.
Yeah, it all started back. It was actually pretty funny. So, I needed a quad mechanic, I guess you could say. I was getting really busy with school. I was doing DCL and other things like that. Just had so many different racing things I had to do. Along with school, I just couldn't handle it. So I wanted somebody to help me manage all the quads I had to build because I had to do them for different leagues and such like that. Preston Garrison from Flight One, actually, he made a post without asking me saying that Evan, Heads Up, whatever, needs a mechanic and we'll do this, that, and the other, whatever. And I got all mad at him because you weren't supposed to make a post and whatever. So I'd say that was about 6 months ago that all happened. And then Mondo, I had messages. I woke up and my messenger had like over 100 messages. All these people trying to build my quads. Most of them like they never built a quad before. It was just huge pain. But Mondo messaged me, and I'd talk to him here and there. But he was like, "Hey, I'll help you out." And then we started talking, and then he'd been talking about. I had actually been working on a frame of my own. I'll show you something here in a second. I actually have the original drawings from mine.
Nice.
And he said, "Yeah, I've been wanting to do this for a while." So then we started working on it, and then it kind of snowballed into this whole big thing where then eventually 533 came out, and then next thing you know, we sold 350, 400 frames. So yeah, it's came on way faster than we ever could have expected. But yeah, we love it. We're happy to be working with you and some other big creators to get it out there. And so far, everyone's really liked it. So yeah, it started about 6 months ago, and we're really happy with the result of it.
Awesome. And I'm actually doing a quick teardown here. When I did all the promo material and stuff for the stream, I forgot to take it apart. And a big part of the whole point of this is to show you guys how to assemble it and disassemble it. So, you can see a little bit of the magic here behind the scenes as we take this thing apart. But, yeah. So how's that relationship been working with Mondo? Why the name 533? Where do you see this going in the next couple of years?
Yeah, so like I said, me and Mondo, the relationship kind of started out as just he was going to help me building some quads. I would compensate him with just like some extra parts that I had laying around, and then like when if I ever was able to win any money or any winnings like that, I'd help compensate for the work that he did to make that happen because my quads have been rock solid, or I've started working with him, and so that's how it started out, and then. Originally, we were going to do the frame through Flight One, and they was going to come out under their line. And Preston was a big help, and I can't thank him enough for the things that he was able to do. He actually cut some of the first prototypes which was a huge help to get the ball rolling. Then eventually, I ended up taking that frame to the WDC in Turkey, Istanbul, Turkey. I ended up doing getting TQ at that race. And it really, I ended up crashing a lot at that race too, really hard in the metal. We were on tarmac at a big airport in the middle of Turkey, but it really impressed a lot of pilots with just the durability alone. And so everyone was really excited about it at Turkey. So then I talked to my good friend Serge from Pyroflip, and then he kind of recommended me to try and just for fun, just do it on my own. He said that you could just order 100 or so and ship them to different retailers and just make a couple extra dollars and just be fun just to do it on your own name and just to learn how to do like run a business and such, which I totally underestimated how to do all that. So then we started out like that, and so from then on me and Mondo kind of came up with the idea, and then it got really big really fast. because we're like, okay, well, maybe we'll just do our own site, because if we don't sell to retailers, then we'll make more profit, and then we can order more frames and make more products faster. And we just came up with all these ideas that sounded so awesome and all of this, that, and the other, and it really was, and it has been. But there's a lot of work to go into that. Just to you can't just magically have a business and all these. There's so many things you have to do. Luckily, my friend who's been a crucial part in 533 actually becoming a thing is Matthew Hill. He's a local guy to me. I met him at a Tiny Whoop race about, actually at a race here about, I think it was a year ago, a couple of days ago, actually. I think it was yesterday. It was a year ago then that I met him. And he told me he did some web design and things like that. And he said, if you ever need anything web design, just let me know. And then come to find out a year later, I was like, well, we're going to do this 533 thing and we need your help. And he has been absolutely phenomenal. He's actually the MultiGP sportsman national champion.
Dude, no kidding.
He lives, yeah, no kidding. Matthew Hill, Matty Light is his name. Yeah, he went down the week before I did. We trained together all the time. I help him out with parts and things like that. And we train together and whatnot. So he went down and won Sportsman Nationals the week before here in Daytona recently. And then he cheered me on when I went and did whatever at the one the prior. And so, yeah, it was huge. We now everyone was all excited about it at Nationals. We ended up making a pretty decent sized team from, I think now we have like 15 pilots that we sponsor now from all over the world. We just added a pilot from the Dominican Republic, SIBA FPV. We have some pilots from Poland, a few from Germany. Yeah, he was at Nationals as well. So we've really built a team of guys that we are super, super happy with to help grow this. And they, I've met all of them personally, and they are all amazing people for the industry, and they do an awesome job helping make 533 and get it out to as many people as possible. So most people, I get this question all the time, and it was, what is 533? So 533, that is, I started running, I changed my rates about a year, or about 2 or 3 years ago now. I've been flying for 3 or 4, and I got the rates, and they kind of just, I got them from Minchan actually. And this was a long, long time ago. It was right after Sebring, and I wanted to, oh boy, I think my mic is dead.
Nope, I still hear you.
Can you hear me?
We still hear you, yep.
Okay, awesome. Sorry about that. But, and the rates ended up coming out to 533 degrees per second. So I stuck with that, and if anyone ever asked me my rates, I'd always tell them 0.8, 0.7, that's beta flight, of course, so 0.8 RC rate, 0.7 super rate, and that comes out to 533 degrees per second. And I'd say the biggest thing that delayed the frame coming out actually was that we couldn't think of a frame name or a company name. So we had all these things, we made all the orders and things like that, and we're like, all right, well, we need a name, we got to start marketing it and things like that, because most people are just like, oh, it's that Evan Armando frame, it's this, that, and the other. And we're like, well, we need a name. So we ended up going with 533. I'm really happy with it. It's definitely attached to me in a very special way, and I still run those rates to this day. So, but yeah, so then that brand has kind of grown. We do obviously sweatshirts now. We have some hats coming. Shirts, all kinds of things like that. And now we're just trying to grow the brand as much as we can. We're obviously trying to do more team pilots and things like that, trying to build just the best team of guys we can. I'm already super, super happy with the guys we have now, but, we just want to keep growing it and get it out to as many people as possible. Sorry that was a lot. But.
No, that's good. That's great. That's perfect. That's what the people want to hear.
Yeah.
So with that said, let's dive into all the parts that we got going on here. So the kit comes with 4 separate arms, obviously. We've got a mid plate with the these insets already made. Then there's a sandwich plate for the bottom, and then there's this thing called the anti-wiggle plate, which is like the coolest thing I've ever seen in a frame before. And it's gonna blow your minds in a sec when we put it together. So the place that you start with this frame is you put your screws through from the bottom of the wiggle plate up through the mid plate so that the inset screws stand up through the top, like that. Does that look correct, Mr. Evan?
Yes, it does. Put the standoff screws in first, the short button head ones.
Except I think I put my wiggle plate on.
Yeah, no, you got that right.
No,
Just,
that's good. Okay.
And then what I like to do is just get those short standoffs. Yeah, just like that, and thread the standoff on.
And these are equal lateral, so both sides. It doesn't matter which side you put it on.
Yeah.
And that means that one piece replacements mean you don't have to like find like a left or right version of something. And then the front, you also have separate standoffs for the TPU camera mount, but I just happen to have my camera mount already assembled, so you just can't tell that there's two standoffs in there.
Mm-hmm.
Come on.
Yeah, so this whole wiggle plate thing, you can see he's stacking 2 carbon plates together right now, and this is something that Mondo came up with. For those who don't know, he's an aerospace engineer, super smart guy, and just one of the many reasons he's been so awesome to work with. He knows a lot about carbon and just materials in general, and where they're strong, where they're weak, and he knows how to put them together in the ways that they complement each other and make them as strong as possible. So we both came from frames that used aluminum bottom plates like Floss 3, the Proton, things like that. And for those of you guys who don't know, those frames both definitely, in my opinion, like revolutionized the whole frames in general, just because they use that arm interlocking mechanism that slides into that milled out aluminum. It worked really well. Unfortunately, we started bending a few of the aluminum plates. Aluminum's a little bit of a softer material and things like that compared to carbon, and it was also a bit of a pain to get manufactured. I know I heard about from the Floss that when things were out of stock, it was typically just because they couldn't get aluminum plates. So we knew if we were going to do a frame, we didn't want to have to deal with stocking, because our goal was to, no matter how many people bought, we wanted to have them in stock at all times, so that if you had a race next weekend and you broke your last arm or something, we want to be able to get it to you, and we'll do whatever we can to do that. But so Mondo, I have no idea how no one's ever thought of this before. Mondo used his crazy engineering intuition, as he called it, to come up with this, which he uses the anti-wiggle plate. So we're stacking 2, and as I'm sure Paul will show you here in a second, that the arms will seriously just like notch in or slide right in.
This is the craziest thing. So like, there's not like a like a notch or anything in these. Like it feels like they go together like a puzzle. But like seriously, if you just go like this, it's like there's no screws in there yet.
Yeah,
I just was like,
we are super happy with how that ended up turning out. We had to work most of the prototyping. We spent tons and tons of time and money on the prototyping, and it was mostly just to get those tolerances absolutely perfect. We have an amazing carbon manufacturer who's been able to do some really awesome things. She's been super consistent and fast so far, making sure we always are full of parts for you guys. That was the biggest thing, getting those parts perfect. You see here, like no screws, it is held in like nothing. So that is something we're super happy with.
And it's one screw replacement.
Yep. So I can see it's notched. The frame does work for 2020 and 3030. So no screws, 1 screw arm removal, and hopefully you shouldn't be breaking arms that much. We have, like I said, we have tons of team pilots that help us test, and they haven't been breaking much at all, which we are really happy with. But if you do end up hitting a brick wall or metal conduit gate at X miles per hour, then it's super quick to get back in the air, which is what we want for you guys.
So there's 4 longer flathead screws, or how do you describe? How do you call these?
Countersunk
screws.
Yeah. So there's the 4 longer ones, which go through which go through the arms, and then the 2 shorter ones you'll see are the compression screws, and we'll do that a little bit later in the build, and you'll see that in a second. We wanted to. Mondo forced me to go countersunk. I was originally against the idea because I was like, well, people don't really stock countersunk hardware, and if they lose the screws and this, that, and the other. But Mondo was like, no, people love it, and we really have gotten amazing feedback. So Mondo was definitely right there. It does give you a perfectly flat surface to put your battery on, so you're not going to get those. I know that on some of my old frames didn't have that. I'd take my battery off, and there'd be little 4 screw holes from the button head screws that just poke into the battery, which obviously isn't good for your battery, and it can damage your battery. But so we went countersunk for everything on the bottom, so your battery has a perfectly flat spot, and you can put a battery pad or a dual lock Velcro, whatever you like to use to hold your battery on there. Super, super easy. And so we're really, really happy with that. I'm glad Mondo convinced me. Like I said, I was originally against it, but it ended up working out really, really well.
Okay, so I've got each of those 4 screws in there. I got to keep remembering to keep my quad centered, and then should we do the flight controller mount first?
Yeah, it doesn't matter. You're running a 2020 stack.
Yep.
So yeah, you can just put those in, and then those the stack screws are provided with the frame. So we know that some guys, they'll order this frame and then they have to order like 6 other things. They have to order like stack screws and different things like that, or the TPU prints. The TPU prints are all provided with the frame, so you get your camera mount, your turtle fin, and your antenna mount all provided with the frame, no extra charge. We do have different color options now. So our site, fly533.com.
Yeah, you can even get 2-toned colors.
Yeah, Nurk special, so he got the 2-tone.
I just want to say really quick while you go on, I'm putting in the compression screws in here. So what they do is there's this open space, just so you can keep talking while I keep moving on. There's this open space that's down here that is between the arms and those 2 middle plates, and there's a screw comes with this thing that goes in here, and it just kind of presses down and squishes that carbon ever so slightly so that it bends just a little bit, and that helps hold the arms in place from moving. You have the option of running them. You probably don't even need them because the tolerance is already so tight. So like if you're really a weight weenie, you can not do that. But I think it's such a freaking great idea that I absolutely want them in there. I think it's just perfect. Anyway, sorry. Go ahead.
Yeah, the compression screws, you can. They obviously do add like 2 grand or something like that. And I know some people will take the extra durability. It'll keep everything nice and solid all the time. Just as it says, it's just everything just stays compressed. That way, no weight will get built up, etc. I know that I've ran, because I wanted to make sure that it's okay without compression screws, so I ran quads without the compression screw forever, no problems at all, but we really just wanted to make sure that no wiggle ever built up, and if so, you can just tighten that wiggle screw down an extra quarter turn and you're good to go. But if you do not want to run the compression screw, you can just pop those compression nuts out, I guess. And what are they called? I'll call them compression nuts. I can't think of the name right now. Press nuts. You can pop those out where those typically go, and you'll save an extra half gram or something. And I know that matters to some people, and no, nothing against you guys, but yeah, so you can take those out. But yeah, exactly. Like, I'm not sure if that will make you faster, but whatever. Hey, it's all about, most of racing these days is just about how light your quad, or how light you can say your quad is, the number. But I don't think that 2 grams will affect anyone. And if it makes the frame stronger and last longer, whatever, then like it can't hurt. So yeah, once those go in, and then let's see the next thing. Let's see what. Okay. Yeah. Yeah. So we'll go ahead and do that. So for those of you who don't know, more than anything, I'd like you to follow our 533 Instagram. So that, like I said, that's the company that myself and Armando started. So that is, as you can see on our shirt here, we have 533. So 5 is spelled out. I think our Instagram is at fly533. So you can follow us on Instagram. We are always keeping you guys up to date when stock is in the US and when stock's in Europe. So that's not a problem there, because we don't sell at retailers. Some of you might have figured that out by now. But the so we actually have another warehouse. So we actually have 2 guys in Germany, and they have been absolutely amazing. And they have, let's see, yeah, they have stepped up big time. They've helped us a ton in making sure the European guys, because we had so many European guys wanting the frame, we wanted to make sure they got it in their hands. So we can ship a bunch of frames from China direct to them. They're doing their own printing. The printing from Germany is absolutely insane. So all the prints from Germany might be better than the ones from the US, honestly. Mondo's little old printer is a workhorse, but the German guys have absolutely insane printers. So yeah, we have those guys in Germany who are being a huge help. Obviously, my social medias are Headsup FPV. That's what my racer name. So you can find me on Instagram, YouTube. My Facebook is Evan Turner. So you can find me on there. Feel free to message me if you have any questions or anything about the frame, or just anything in general. I'm always more than happy to help you guys with whatever. I watch people's DVR like all the time. It seems like always trying to help whoever I can out.
I just had a stupid moment where I pulled out a sticker and like pulled the wrapper off and then threw it to the side. I threw the sticker and not the wrapper.
Oh, nice.
I was just like, oh boy. That means we're gonna have an explosive quad tonight, I think, boys.
Yeah, let's hope.
A little fire is gonna happen.
The Switchback is fire resistant. No, I'm just kidding.
Actually, this would be this wouldn't be the first drone I lit on fire today.
Yeah, well, that's alarming, I'd say. But yeah, there's the sticker he just put on stream, I guess, for me. You can see that's our how you spell it. So you can find us on Instagram. Mine, like I said, but now let's see what I'm not sure how Nurk builds his quads, but I'm sure he'll talk you through kind of what he's going for.
Well, so the first thing we need to do is get the side force generators on, and you have to put the motors on first, right?
Yeah, you got to put those drop-through pins in, and then you can kind of alternate screw, and then the side force generator, then screw. And yeah, I'm sure you'll figure it out.
And I forgot to put the thing in first.
Yeah, I was just about to say I'm a little bit behind here. Let's see.
Aren't you worried about those solder bits getting sucked into motor magnets? Constantly! And it happens. But if I'm going to try to keep this whole thing clean, then I might as well just... Yeah. No. Never. Okay, so... Thunk. So this is the side force generator holder thing. And then you can see the side force generator is here is this like carbon plate that runs along the side. And the insets are in this, so it doesn't matter which way this goes, as long as it goes in the hole before the motor. Pro tip. And it goes down. Come on. And then the motor can go over top of it.
Yeah. So that was something. So it actually originated. We weren't planning on doing it, and all of our previous prototypes did not have the SFG, or yeah, we're calling them SFG, side force generators. Didn't have that on there, but we saw that in Europe and now in the US that box frames, the vertical arm frames. Let's see, I do have one right here. So box frames are getting super popular, and the things everyone liked about it, what we felt is, if you asked anyone what they liked about it, they said it just tracked amazing. So my theory was that the front and side braces did not do anything except add drag, which I thought people might like, but drag is not good. It'll slow you down, make you less efficient. And it makes it slightly easier to fly, but I think that that you can just run the side braces and still get the same tracking effect, and really have a much lighter, because you have a lot of carbon on a box design. And so what we did is we wanted people to have the same conveniences of a normal frame, like the Switchback with one screw arm removal. We have all the super nice arm interlocking, and we wanted that same flight feel without all the pain and hassle of a vertical frame. For those who have messed with vertical frame, you'll know that you have to hammer together different parts and such, and it really does end up with a super sturdy like box. I guess you get that it makes a super sturdy frame and all like that. But when you break stuff, you have to take off multiple motors to replace braces. You have to take off the top plate if you want to replace an inner brace, and there's so many different disadvantages that I didn't think it was worth it to for it to be a vertical arm frame. So we decided to go with the Switchback, make an amazing normal arm frame, or like the flat arm, I guess you'd say, the typical frame. Then Mondo, we spitballed all kinds of different ideas on how we can put, and if you think about it, it's actually super, super hard to attach a flat carbon piece to a vertical carbon piece. It's not as easy as it sounds, but it's a fun like school project, I guess you could say. So we came up with all different things. I think we tried 3, maybe 4 different ways of attaching it, and we came up with this. So we wanted a few different things. We wanted to be able to take off and put on the SFGs super, super easy, and that's what we have. We wanted to be able to replace the SFGs super easy if they do break, which is not very common at all because of how much rigidity it actually adds. And then we didn't want it to add too much weight. So Mondo used his, once again, his engineering intuition that built 99% of the rest of the frame and came up with what you're doing now. So as people are calling it, let's see, Heart of America in the chat saying that the T connects. So those little T's that Nerk's dropping through those little slots in the arms. You do not have to buy extra arms when you get the SFGs, since every single arm that you buy will be ready or SFG ready. So you just buy the SFG kit for an extra $10. Comes with all the hardware to be up and going with SFGs in no time. So that works super, super well. And so yeah, Mondo did an amazing, amazing job. I never would have thought about it. I could have stared at a piece of paper for another year and never would have thought of that in my life. But yeah, that's something that the industry's never really seen, quite honestly. And we are really, really happy to be the first to get there. And we're really happy with the results as well. The stock ones we have now are pretty narrow, as you can see on the left side of the screen. They're 10 millimeters tall, I guess you could say. And they gave a nice feel. It was a balanced feel that we felt. So when most people say in the wind, a vertical frame can be super, super hard to fly because you have all of that extra side area and it'll push you around and things like that. So we went with a slightly shorter SFG for that reason. So if you're in the wind, you still get that same flight feel, but you're not going to get pushed around and things like that. However, when it's not windy and you want as much of that side brace feel as possible, we came out with these, which is the Sean Ames. I know he's watching. He'll like this. He wants to call them the BFGs, the big side force generators.
Wait, hold on. Looks like you froze your video.
Yeah, it does.
You want to just kill and call back and see if that fixes it?
Yeah.
Sorry, I can see that you're holding something up. I didn't want to. Oh, wait. You're back.
I'm back?
Yep.
All right, sweet. Sorry, my brother's probably like playing Mario Kart and playing, who knows. But as I was saying, we have the tall SFGs now, and this gives an even bigger of a feel. Those, for, like I was saying, of people who want that crazy tracking, those crazy tight turns. And so now we have the tall ones, and it does happen to be perfectly sized for the 533 stickers that you will get with all of your frames. I've got a ton of stickers over there, so all the orders right now are actually coming through my house in my basement. So if anyone makes an order, put a note in there. I'll throw in some extra stickers and whatnot. I have some Headsup FPV ones as well. But we really like it. It's good for advertising, if anything. I think it just looks awesome. But yeah, so these will be coming in our next batch, which should hopefully, we're trying to get in before Chinese New Year. Hopefully they ship that out in the next week, maybe or two. So yeah, the BFGs, as Sean calls them. And yeah, so these will be coming soon. But Nerk's putting on the normal SFGs, which we are the more balanced approach for when it's windy, and they're also slightly lighter. As I'm sure somebody will definitely ask, the BFGs add 2 grams compared to the normal SFGs. The SFG current ones add 13 grams total to the frame. And then the BFGs add 15 grams total. And the difference between that 2 grams for what you gain is an incredible amount of tracking. And people really liked it. We've sent them out to all of our test pilots. Also, we put out a post saying that anyone who ordered can put a note in their order, and we will send them out too. So we've had really good results. Everyone's really liked them. So now we are going to stock them because the biggest thing was like when starting 533, it was just like I wanted to be the company that was like super, super nimble. And there was always things like that, because I've worked with many, many companies in the past, and I just felt like if something needs to be changed, I want it to be changed. It's much like Tesla, the motor company, or that make the Tesla cars. I'm sure you all know. They don't come out with different versions each year, like the Tesla Model S. There's, as far as you know, there's only been one Model S, but they're always, always improving it. Just in the back end, no one's going to complain that you improve your product. So I wanted to be I wanted to be a company that could always be improving. I wanted to have control of all the ordering, all the stocking and stuff, because I was tired of people complaining that there was no stock and things like that. So me and Mondo have been doing our best to take what knowledge we know from the industry and correlate that to stay ahead of the game and just be, like I said, a nimble company. So we always want to be improving. Our batch 2 is actually slightly different from our batch 1. There's just a slightly, I think yours is a batch 1, but there's no big difference there. There's no performance difference or anything, but it just made it a little bit easier to work on with 3030. So any frame that anyone gets now will be if they order from seeing this video, will be a batch 2 or maybe even a batch 3 or 4, depending on when you watch this. But yeah, so that was kind of my goal, is just, and why I decided to go separate than working with another company, is just that I wanted to have complete control and do what I thought the FPV store, like the prime FPV store, should be. So, and a few of those things were like, I'm not working with any retailers because I felt like it'd be just a good experience, because like I'm a 16-year-old kid who just wanted to, like, just do something, I guess, not many kids have the opportunity to do something like this. And I felt like I was in a position to where I could do something like this and kind of leverage all the people I know, some accomplishments that I've been able to do, as well as my social media, to make something that I thought was cool. And even if nobody bought the frame, I wouldn't care, because it's like something that I liked. And it's just something that I'd like to run. It has my name on it. I worked really hard to make it what it is, along with Mondo and Matt, like I said. And so we're super, super happy with it. 533, I know you asked me earlier that what our plans were for the future. And really, there's nothing concrete, as I'm sure you know from life in general.
Yeah.
Nothing is like set tomorrow. Who knows what will happen tomorrow or the next day. But so we just actually recently launched our motor. So we started out with a frame that has been wildly popular. I think we just broke, I don't want to quote, I know we've sold over 350 in a month and a half. We've built up an awesome team of guys. We've been able to work with people like yourself, Paul Nurkula, get live streams like this going. And we're just super, super happy with how the team has grown, and we couldn't have expected it, and we are super, super blessed and happy that this was able to happen. But yeah, so like I said, 533 does not plan on stopping or slowing down or anything like that anytime soon. So yeah, so like I said, we're coming out with this new motor. This is, I'm not sure that I have a huge lag on the stream. Let's see if I can get my camera pulled up. So we have this new motor coming out. This is a motor. It's a 533 motor. It's the Headsup FPV edition. It's been a dream since I was just a little, ever since I started flying, to have like a
I was going to
product
say,
named after me.
ever since I was young, I was like, God dang, dude. You're making us old people feel older.
But I've always wanted to have a product named after me. I decided against having the Switchback named after me for a few different reasons.
Just in case it
But I
bombed.
decided that, like, if I'm going to do a product, I guess I'll do a motor. And the people who want to support me, that's great. And I just wanted to make a great product. Even if you don't like me, rub my name off. I don't care, whatever. But I just wanted to make a quality product that anyone can go out from any skill level and just have a quality product that they can count on being in stock and just being a good product in general. So this motor is, I'm sure we're going to get a bunch of questions about it. It is produced by Xnova. And for those who don't have any experience with Xnova, I have run across them a few times. They've been, for those who don't know, in the helicopter industry for years and years and years. And they have been known for being the absolute top helicopter motor producer in the game for a long, long time. And I've tried some of their motors in the past, and I was really, really impressed with them, but some things with some other sponsors didn't really work out, and I just, long story there, but that was a long time ago. So Then Nationals came around. There was a huge thing there where I couldn't get motors, and Xnova told me that they'd be more than happy to help me out, and that I told them I was planning on making my own motor, and they said they'd love to work with me. So this is a 533 motor. This is not a Xnova motor that I just put my name on, or that they're selling and I'm just putting my name on or whatever. This is sold by 533. I'm essentially doing an OEM through Xnova where I'm putting the bill on all of that stuff. And so I'm really, really happy that I've been able to do it through 533 totally autonomously. And we've been super, super happy with the Xnova quality. They have sent out what's called prototypes in no time. We have done multiple votes in the community to see who likes what design and things like that. For those, I'll try and get it close up again. So we have this super awesome blue that'll go with the teal and all the other colors that are on the prints for the Switchback. And we wanted it classy, but we also wanted it to have a little bit of a pop. So we went with the black base. So it looks super, super sleek. It'll be hard to show on camera, but it's got this color changing esque ring to it. So in certain lighting conditions, it looks like an all black with the blue, but in others, it turns a super cool titanium color, which we are super, super happy with. Oh boy.
Busted.
I think my dad's coming downstairs.
Are you reading chat?
Yeah.
Okay, good.
I'm sure you'll see my dad here soon.
So my the next step is, so I've got the ESC installed. We can run through the whole parts list if you need. But hi, Mr. Turner. I'm disappointed you weren't in overalls.
Yeah, he did. We need to get him some pajama overalls.
There you go.
533 pajama overalls. That's our next product. People look out.
Honestly, that would sell. So on this this Acon speed controller, you can see there's tiny little holes for the capacitor to drop into. So I'm gonna stick, if I can even get it in there. That's what she said. I'm gonna shorten these up a little bit though first, so it's gonna be too long.
Oh boy, seems like everyone's more excited about my dad coming in than anything else. But hey, he might have to make another appearance.
I mean, he's a character.
Sure. Yeah, it won't be the
last. We could have him come in and interview him, just like.
Yeah.
I always love talking to your dad, especially just like while you're racing and stuff. So he freaks out.
Yeah, I never get to really experience my dad when I'm racing because for those who have ever been to a race that I've been at, especially a bigger one, my dad, he comes to most of them, especially the ones in the U.S. Super, super supportive. He's always, we got into RC together about 10 years ago now, so I've been flying RC planes and anything RC for about 10 years since I was a little kid at like 6 years old or something. So then we started getting into drones and stuff, and he never really got nervous when I flew planes and such. And I did competitive planes in the past, but drones are obviously a lot more competitive and intense. And I've been on a much bigger stage in the drone world more than anything. So
it's only getting bigger now.
Yeah, it's only getting bigger. So, but he gets extremely, extremely nervous. I can't even explain to you guys how nervous he gets. Like, I think at the Nationals or the Champs recently, I know someone will correct me there, the MultiGP Champs recently in Daytona, he was out in the parking lot. We were flying out in the football field in Daytona, and he was out in the parking lot playing wiffle ball with my brothers. My whole family came down there, but the rest of my family, like my mom, my aunt, my uncle, my grandparents, things like that, they were up in the press box or whatever watching, and they were having the time. They're just enjoying it because it's not like it's just a drone race or whatever. But my dad, it's like he's always freaking out, and he's always like watching and screaming and whatever. So he was out in the parking lot, probably about to throw up. I genuinely have accidentally found him because he doesn't want to be around me when I'm flying or at these big races because he'll make me nervous if I see him over like hunched over a chair about to throw up. So I've found him a couple times, like on my way to the bathroom or something, and he's just sitting in the corner in like the crouched position, just freaking out. So, But yeah, he is a character. He flies himself. His pilot name is Quad Doc. So I'm sure you guys might be able to have seen his videos before. But yeah, we both fly together. He actually does not fly the Switchback. Fun fact. I'll get one of his quads out for you. I'll be right back.
I should have done this off the quad. Actually, I'm just going to take this off for now and make this a little easier on myself.
So this is his quad. So he flies the Project 399 Super G. This is for most of you guys know, it's made by Jordan Timken Jet. You've seen him on DRL, I'm sure. But everyone always makes fun of him, or makes fun of him for me doing all this work, coming out with my own frame, own business, whatever. And then he still flies this humongous freestyle frame. This is race quad. I think he is finally going to crack and build a actual race quad, because he's actually getting to the point now where he's fast enough to where a bigger, heavier quad is hurting him. So I think he's going to build up a few switchbacks with some heads-up motors and things like that, the 533 motors. But yeah, so for those who don't know, he does fly this big switchback, or this big Super G. It's by Project 399. Like I said, by Jordan. He did an amazing job. I'm not sure if he's ever broken a carbon piece on a Super G, which just goes to show that it is a super, super awesome freestyle frame, because I know that all the freestyle guys are always like, I just want a frame that doesn't break. And Jordan has done an amazing job. Super simple. And I know that Nurk flies it for doing his cinematic things like that.
I abuse them. I've only broken like one plate, and it was on a prototype of it. So
yeah, and they're totally built to last. Jordan's done an amazing job, and he is also one of the people who inspired me to do to open up 533 and to do my own thing as well. So this is my dad's frame. I'm sure you guys have seen it around. He's always got the biggest, heaviest quad, but you never see him working on it. So it's a trade-off there, and that's kind of what we went with the Switchback. We know that there are some other frames now, especially since our frame is launched and the Floss 3 Lite has launched. A lot of people have been trying to or frame companies have been trying to undercut our weight or undercut our price, things like that. And that's life. That's just how competition works and whatnot, and that's okay. But we really took the time to actually we started from the ground up. Mondo obviously has incredible experience from his engineering jobs in the past, and so we came
Mondo worked for airplane manufacturers.
Yeah. So if you ever fly, just know that the person who built the super sturdy race frame also had something to do with the airplane flying. So knowing how sturdy and durable this thing is makes me feel safer in the air. I'll say that. But like I was saying, we really spent a ton of time, and it wasn't. And 6 months might not seem like a long time, but those 6 months were constantly going back and forth with China, constantly Mondo would 3D print every single design he ever did on his 3D printer, and we were constantly bouncing them off. We tried to our actual first prototype batch before we even sold any. We just got a budget, and we said, okay, we're going to order 60 frames. So we ordered 60 V1 switchbacks. This is way before production. And we said, we're going to send 5 out to as many pilots as we can. And that's what we did. So we felt that was just the best way to where we can find where it's going to break, what people like, what people don't like, get it out in the community, start building some hype and stuff. And that's what we did. So we put a huge initial investment with absolutely nothing in return for a very long time, just to make sure that we are doing everything in our power to make it the best it could be. Yeah, like I said, some people, we are super, super happy. It's continuing to improve. And that is how it all came to be there.
Absolutely awesome. I love that you're willing to share we didn't, we took a risk, we invested a bunch of capital and said, just go try it, see what happens.
Yeah,
and that's
exactly.
In this industry especially, is the only way to get things done the right way. Because the one time I ventured into frame design way back in the day, I tested it and I beat it to crap and never broke it in a particular way. And as soon as it shipped, everyone broke it the exact same way, and it was bad.
Yeah.
And I haven't even bothered trying to go back since because it was just so embarrassing. So
Yeah.
it's
Yeah.
cool that to hear the process that you guys went through.
Yeah. Exactly. And that was me and Mondo, or myself and Mondo, both had absolutely zero experience with all of this, which was slightly intimidating. I know I've kind of saved up some money through some things I've done in drone racing, and I was able to build up some cash and whatnot. Um, and I know when I told my mom that I wanted to spend X thousands of dollars and not plan on making any of it back, that just to make sure that this product was the best it absolutely could be, her face was interesting, I'd say, at the least. And she asked a lot of questions, and she continues to do. But she's also been a big part in making sure that we're doing all the taxes right and doing all the grown-up stuff, as I call
Nice.
it. I always give her crap for making me do all the boring taxes and whatnot. But without her, it wouldn't be possible. Seriously, she's definitely saved our butt a few times doing as far as like the legal side of things
Well,
and
it would be
the shipping and
possible. You'd
whatnot.
just be in jail.
Yeah, yeah. And the thing that worried her is, since I'm 16, that she might be in jail and I would be out of jail and just not have a mom. So
Hey,
that's why she took so many precautions, I think.
next time she asks you to do
Um,
the dishes, you just threaten jail
yeah,
time.
Mom, I'll take away my taxes on the site. Yeah, I'm sure she'd like that. But yeah, it was. So I've been kind of doing some I had some theories in my head of the best way to kind of start all this previously, and it really, we have made a lot of mistakes to come to where we are now, but we've been able to really kind of fine tune it as we go. I think we've only been a company. What is today? Today, what is today? Like the 6th, I think.
Sixth, yeah.
And our pre-orders went live November 14th. So I guess we're coming up on 2 months of being a company. I personally feel like we've accomplished a lot in that, and I'm super proud of what we've been able to do there. But yeah, we definitely at this point we're just constantly brainstorming. Like I said, we built up a pretty big team of guys now, and they're always telling us ideas and things to improve there. And then we're also just coming up with new products. We are trying to do. We're running it out of my basement and Mondo's basement, wherever he happens to be at the time. And he moves a lot, for those who don't know, and for other reasons. But we're trying to do cost risk or whatever, especially we're running to now a lot of so like for the motors, for example, there was a minimum order quantity, and so that means you have to have a certain amount. You have to order a certain amount before they'll give it to you. So you have to order 5 sets, or whatever, and they have to fire up the machines and whatnot. So that means that we had to have a certain amount of capital to make that purchase. So I had to reinvest even more of my money. It has been I pretty much confirmed that 533 has been 100% backed by my own bank account. So it's not. I know some people have thought that it was supported by like my parents, things like that. And although they have done a lot to get me where I've come today, as far as like helping me with parts in the beginning and whatnot, taking me to races and such. That it's been all my own money. I haven't been spending it on thousands of drone parts or whatnot, but it's been fully back to my me. So that's also another thing, is like at 16, like I'm not used to spending X thousands of dollars to buy 1,000 motors. We will have 1,000 motors in stock here soon. I will say that. So hopefully like I said, I didn't want to run out of stock for you guys. So we ordered 1,000, but that was obviously going to cost a lot of money for me. So I had to make the investment and just take a risk. And that's what we ended up doing. And so far, yeah, they'll be here soon. We're super excited for them to be here. We know that a lot of people are going to like them. Yeah, it's been a crazy thing. Not something that I could have told you 7 months ago that I thought I would be doing, much less 6 months ago. But yeah, it kind of snowballed really fast. Mondo's been a humongous help. I think we're a pretty good team. it's like balancing each other and stuff, and really going the best we can, doing the best we can. So yeah, Mondo has used his engineering, and just I think he's like 27 or something. So he obviously has a little bit more life experience than me, just a mere 16. So he's been able to give me a bunch of advice and things like that. But yeah, it's really, all of this would not have been just like, I wouldn't be capable of doing this without all the help I've received over the years. I've been in RC almost my entire life, and yeah, just so many things I can think of and tell you guys that wouldn't be possible without the help of other people, and I can't be more appreciative of that. I know that, let me think, I think it was, I remember the first time I met Nurk
Oh boy.
back at the MDX, yeah, the Mexico
Yeah.
back in 2017. And
Was that the first one or the second
obviously,
one?
I
No, that was the second one.
The second one, yeah.
It's a good one.
For those of you who've seen pictures of me from a year ago, 2 years ago, I looked like a little baby back then, so I was just like the little baby who, yeah, hey, watch your mouth now. I'm just kidding. I was just a little baby kid who wanted to fly drones, had the time of his life, and I still remember going up to Nurk, and Nurk has always been somebody that has inspired me, and he's done amazing things. I remember 2016, 2017 Nationals, he obviously, I think you won, right? Which Nationals did you win? Did you win a Nationals? Did you get second?
Not at MultiGP. MultiGP, I had a 5th or 6th, but I had DSA Drone Worlds.
DSA, that's
second.
Oh, man, that was before me. Yeah, second. I still remember to this day watching that video of Boba Fett. That was your name back then, I'm pretty sure. If I remember correctly.
That is correct.
Yeah, Boba Fett. I miss that name. I dig that. Watching Boba.
I don't miss it.
Like that. Oh, that's funny. Yeah, I remember watching that, and I mean, and that's why I really try and focus on just because I remember meeting, like I said, Nurk back at MDX, and he was super, super supportive. Like, he was always like, he was giving me crap in like a playful way, always helping me out, and I was a very inexperienced racer at the time, and he really helped me out. Just he's always happy to talk and whatnot, and that's it's a big role model to me of what I want to try and be to other people. And that's, anytime anyone's asking questions, I always want to be the first to respond as fast as I can, as long as I'm not busy and whatnot. But just things like that. It's like things that I want to give back now at this point, that so many people have helped me do what I've been able to do, and it would have been possible without them. Just small things like I mentioned, just like being nice and stuff. So I've tried to come to realize that, like, if you do that, you can really change and affect someone's life in a positive way to help them do things in the future. So yeah, it's been a crazy whirlwind, as I've said. But I'm happy where we are now, and hopefully we keep going. We have a whole lot of things in store. I know I'll be doing DRL. For those of you who don't know, I'll be with your buddy Nurk here this upcoming season in 2020. So look out for Headsup is my official name on DRL. Some people know me as Headsup FPV, but my official name will be Headsup. So that is that we just found out recently. So I'm super excited about that. I'm hoping to learn what color I'll be, because everyone who asked, or
that's a good question.
Who's heard I'm going to be on DRL is like, what color are you going to be? And if you ask, I haven't talked with them about it. It hasn't even come up in any of our phone calls or anything like that. Most people that I've talked to want me to be the teal, because 533. I don't think there's a teal pilot, and that's my personal pick. I know that some people want me to be pink or purple, Nub's purple, I guess. So, and I'm not sure. It depends if Willie's coming back next year. I haven't heard anything about that. I've heard some rumors he might be doing commentary or something. But that's all just rumors that I've heard, just like local random races and whatnot. So who knows?
Coming from my side, I've not heard those rumors even. So, just
I have no idea.
Add fuel to the flame. I don't know anything.
Yeah, we'll talk. I don't know. But a lot of people wanted to compare me to Willie, so they want me to be pink. I'm not much of a pink kind of guy. I used to be. I know there's some pictures of me from 3 or 4 years ago where I was always wearing pink, but teal is now one of my more favorite colors, I guess you could say. So, but I'll be happy either way. I mean, I can be whatever. It doesn't matter to me. I'm just so excited to be on DRL this year. Hopefully not get my butt kicked by Nurk, but I'm sure that I'll get my fair share of that from Nurk and all the other guys. But yeah, I'm really excited. I have no clue what to expect doing that. We've all
Yeah,
obviously
I
watched.
think that's the most important attitude going into something like that is just to not have expectations, because you never like it's I you, everyone that's gone through it has just come out the other side like I did not
Yeah,
realize what this was going to be like. And I mean, just from in the sense of, like, it being a TV show,
yeah,
like you have to,
exactly.
you're not just flying for yourself or for fun or anything like that. Like, now you're being interviewed and you've got to, make coherent thoughts to a camera between heats, and you
Yeah,
can't just
yeah,
go run to the bathroom, and there is no downtime. And oh, well, now we're going to add an audience of like 4,000 people. What
yeah.
do you do now?
Oh
Nobody's
yeah.
prepared for that.
Oh yeah. So I am, like I said, it's obviously DRL is obviously a whole other tier of racing, just in general, especially drone racing. It's something that not that we haven't really experienced if you're at an amateur level. And I'm sure as DRL starts to do more live events, that you guys will hopefully get to come and watch and experience some of that. Something I've never been able to do. I missed the one in Phoenix, but I guess I'll get to experience firsthand and learn the hard way, I guess. But hey, that's life. So yeah, I'm hoping DRL does some live events this year.
I
I would
can
assume with how
guarantee it.
awesome their one. Yeah, I would
Yeah.
assume with how awesome when last year when Phoenix that they'd have plenty of those lined up. But I hope to see you guys there. Hopefully, you'll see me on the stage at some point. Hopefully, I'm not crashed out or not in the finals or whatever.
I
But
can't say I'm hopeful that he doesn't crash out, but
well, we'll see. I mean, it's all the crazy thing is, to me at least, is like, even though it's a TV show and whatnot, like I still am like, some of my closest friends are pilots on the DRL, and it's like it'll be so cool to go and travel the world with them and compete and experience all that just with my friends. And I know we always talk about how in drone racing, like you're friends with all these guys, and then off the track, you're sorry, I just talked to my dead my tracks. Nicholas Sheldon just said, if you're reading the chat, be the first one to come out with an extra wide battery strap specifically for racing. Nicholas, we will work on that. I know we were planning on ordering some battery straps here soon, actually. So we will definitely work on that for you. So sorry, back to what I was saying. That one just caught my attention. Um, but yeah, it'll be so cool, and that's what I think is so cool about DRL that not many people realize is that like we're all like best friends in a sense. Like when you travel with someone, you spend so much time doing interviews and staying at the same hotel and all this stuff. It's like you really start to develop a relationship with all these people. Um, that'll be a really cool relationship, I think, because it'll be the most competitive and insane competition that I've ever experienced due to spec racing and all the awesome things DRL does to make the racing closer. But it'll also be with some of my best friends, and it'll be those same group of guys every single race, which will just make for, I'm sure, even bigger rivalries, even closer racing. Obviously, coming from 5-inch racing, my biggest rival going in is Vanover. Alex, I've known him for years. Back at the 2017 Nationals, we met. That was the one that he won, and we've been battling it out every single race since then. It seems like every single race we go to, it just trades back and forth of who can pull out the win. So I'm sure that hopefully, I know he has that year of experience on me, so it'll be tough to compete with him, and as well as the other guys like Nurk and Jet that all have like the 2, 3, 4 years experience. But I really do, and I'm sure all the other guys plan on doing as much as I possibly can to make sure that their other friend, although they might be friends, don't win.
oh yeah, it's
Because there
like
is
we're
no chance of
friends,
that. Like, you
but
want to be,
we're there to win for sure.
yeah,
We'll do
exactly. Yeah,
everything we can, even if it means I
yeah,
print out
there's
a
fun
picture of your
tricks that can get
mom.
dirty, I'm sure.
Um, I want to answer a comment in here because I thought it was really funny. Somebody asked, who are you going to room with at DRL events? So DRL pilots do not share rooms. There's a rule. I don't know if it has my name on it yet, but it should. So I'm going to call it the NERC rule. And I snore so bad that different pilots have complained enough that I like impact their performance at races. So we have our own rooms.
Hey, I won't complain about that. Yeah, I've had to what's it called? My dad is a huge snorer, and more recently I've been traveling a lot more, and my parents have been able to go to all of them because they have full-time jobs and stuff. But I have gone to many races, and my dad he always forgets his sleep machine. He has sleep apnea or whatever, and snores like a freaking like freight train. And I've had many hard nights of sleeping when he doesn't happen to have his CPAP machine. So if NERC wakes me up, I'm sure I'll be the one to post on their Instagram or story of me waking NERC back up, so he'll stop snoring. But
that's fine.
We'll see. We'll take that as it lies or as it goes. But yeah, that is something I didn't know, so I'm excited to have my very own room in DRL and hopefully have a good night's rest.
Not if I can help it. Even if I'm not snoring next to you, you'll be thinking about me.
Oh yeah.
That wasn't supposed to sound so kinky, but you know what I mean.
Oh
Anyway.
yeah, and then I'm sure most people know, just in competition in general, it's like especially with any close-knit community like drone racing, there's always that friendship and community aspect. There's also like the everyone everyone's just friends. And there's I'm sure we'll all have to find a balance at some point to get that figured out. And we'll play it as it lies, I'm sure. But yeah, I'm excited nonetheless. I know I'll have to start practicing here with the Racer 4 at some point when I get one, hopefully soon. But yeah, it'll be.
Again, not if I can help it.
A lot of people,
Have you flown one yet?
I know that. No, I've flown one for approximately like 30 seconds.
Okay.
And it was in Buffalo.
Oh, okay.
Which was, and I crashed. Fun fact.
That is a fun fact.
I was trying to beat Vanover's lap time, and he'd been flying it obviously months on end, and I broke it actually for him, and I know he wasn't happy about that, but whatever, it's Vanover. Me and Vanover have a very funny relationship, I'd say. We are both extremely competitive, probably too competitive, especially with each other, especially since we're trading races so often. But we always want to beat each other, and when we're on, we fly on the DRL sim all the time, and we'll post stories on our Instagram stories about how we just set a time, and then we just feel like we're obligated to go on and just demolish the other person's time. So if you ever see me and Vanover both on the sim at the same time, we're probably on a Discord or something, just talking trash to each other, trying to beat each other's times.
Vanover was saying the other day that you guys have to have gentlemen's agreements to not try to beat the time again.
Yeah.
So that you don't waste your lives trying to.
Yeah. So we that is true. He's not lying. So we kind of do a rule where like we'll get on and we'll grind. And we try and not because we don't want one person to have like 12 hours, one person to have 4 hours, because then you can't really say you're better than the other person because you put 3 times the amount of track time. You're like, well, if I did that, then I could beat you. So we try and keep it even because you got to keep the rules fair if you're going to do this. So we try and we'll get on, and then if it doesn't, once after that we're both tired out, we'll just say, all right, that's it. Then it sounds like they're saying my video is frozen. Hopefully that comes
you resumed.
Okay.
Yeah, I went and jiggled the mouse and you came back right away for me.
Okay, perfect. Sorry about that, guys. But yeah, we do have that gentleman's agreement of sorts to where once you put in a certain amount of time, you're both tired. It'll only get worse from there, and then you're fighting for that millisecond, which is just. And for those who have ever grinded a sim, once you get to where you're flying the exact same track and trying to get one lap beat by a millisecond, it's just crazy. It just hurts your head. I've gotten off sim grinds before where I finish and my head physically hurts. So yeah, me and Vanover were both way too competitive. So after we put in an even amount of time, whoever's ahead is ahead, and we just say, all right, that's it, and then we go on with their lives. And then the next track that comes out that we all like, we go from there. But yeah, me and Vanover, and I'm sure all the other DRL pilots will be super, super competitive. Just it's in our nature. Anyone who's a top level drone pilot, I'd say, is definitely a competitive person. So I'm sure that won't stop just on the sim, but it'll happen even in real life.
Yeah, and what's interesting to me is that a lot of people are many people are competitive on the against each other, but there's a lot of times that a lot of people like Gab, for example, is I would say more competitive against himself first,
Yeah.
which is really it's interesting to see how different people thrive under that kind of pressure, and
Yeah.
it's a
Yeah, for
very
sure.
interesting like human study on top
Yeah.
of being a fun job and good TV. Oh, now he's gone. He just disconnected there, ladies and gentlemen, so hopefully we'll get him back. Stop using the microwave, Kevin. That's funny. Those arm wires were starting to bug me a little bit. You coming back, Mr. Evan? I'm gonna wait for him to call me. I think he can just join into the chat directly. He's Facebook chatting me now. Actually, I probably shouldn't show you that window. Set. Yeah, that's okay. What's he saying? Sorry, I misclicked trying to get back in. Let me see if I can call him. Add people? No. Started a call. Join call? There we go.
Hello?
Hello?
Oh,
I got you back.
sounds good. You
Would
hear
be.
me?
Everybody was kind of disappointed it wasn't Kevin that came back. Is it okay to get the motor wires run under the ESC and FC? Yeah, that's fine. I don't like doing it that way because it makes it harder to work on. Jet thinks that it's really bad because it adds more heat to the ESC. I mean, yes, he's right. Do I think it matters? I don't know. But yeah, mine just go in the side like that and hit because I think that's really easy, really clean. It's a nice, clean little build so far. I'm pretty stoked.
Yeah, it's looking good.
Like this stage is where I start to be like, "Ooh, it looks so good," and then you add the VTX in the receiver, and it's like, "Oh, this looks like garbage now." Because it's always just like, yeah, they just throw them in there somewhere.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, the
Okay.
mismatch shrink really does it. It'll go with your mismatch 3 prints, I'm sure.
I've never seen this, or I've never used this flight controller, so I'm trying to get close enough to actually read the instructions. Here, I'll use this camera. Foink. Except it's totally blown out. Oh, no, that's not so bad.
Also for the people, what's it called, who get a switchback and they want some extra prints or want some different ones, we do have, I forgot to mention this earlier, all the prints are available on Thingiverse under 533. So again, 533. And you can find all the prints. We have locked angle mounts, so where some people, they don't want to, the stock angle mount comes with, it'll go from like, I think 25 degrees to 70 degrees, I'm pretty sure. But I know some people, like myself, I run the 45-degree lock mount, and I'm sure it'll be hard to see, but it just really like hugs the camera to the certain tilt that you want. So if you want to get those printed,
the link is in the description. I just double checked to make sure.
Okay, awesome. So yeah, appreciate that. But yeah, I know that 3D printers are becoming more and more popular, and we didn't want anyone to tear up any part of the prints they receive and be without it. And 3D printers are so common nowadays that we just felt like we would include the prints, and then if you want different ones, people are posting their own now. and which we are super happy with. So they're coming up with their own designs, running the top plate backwards and such, which is great. We always want the community to do whatever they think is best, and which is why we're doing that. So yeah, you can get all those on there. Locked camera mounts. We have different antenna mounts for if you run SMA or if you want. The current one, I'm sure Nurk will show you here in a second when he mounts the VTX and antenna. But the current one mounts to the top plate itself, to where, so the way I run my builds is, I get that question all the time. I'm going to take apart this quad and show you guys how I build it.
I got it right here too if you want. If you want to, I can just show whatever you want us to be shown.
Well, I've got it right here.
I mean, like, literally, this guy. Okay, I'll keep going. So right now I am just connecting the camera directly to the flight controller. So if you look real close at this one, which is going to be hard to do with how small everything is, I'll try to get this as zoomed in as I can here. Is it this way? No, this way. You can see on the front there's 3 pads that I've tinned up. That's the 5-volt out, which is what the RunCam Nano uses. The video input and the ground in that order. And I'm just hooking the camera up to that directly.
Alright, let's see here. So I'm going to show you guys how I mount my electronics here. So this is, like I was saying, a question I get pretty often, especially with me. I run the Flight One FC that has plugs, which is super nice. So that allows me to run both my VTX and RX on the top plate, and I can swap top plates in literally 2 seconds. So I took the top plate screws out. Let's see here. So then all I have to do is just unfold it. Let's see. So there is how I run it. So I have my it's getting bigger now. So we have our VTX here, which runs a UFL antenna. This is a Triumph Pro. I run the Triumph Pros or the Axes, just my practice quad. So that runs the big UFL up here, just to where the zip tie goes on that 3D print. Then I run 2.4 gigahertz control link. So we have the Spectrum receiver here, and those just run, this particular mount has the 2.4 mounts, which again is available on Thingiverse. So we just run a zip tie through here. That's what it's designed for. Most people can't really catch that, it seems like, but you just run a zip tie through there, and then heat shrink over that, and then it keeps it just out of range of the props, but also gives you the best range possible that we found with easy workability. So then, if I were to break an antenna or break a VTX or receiver or whatever, and I wanted to swap quads, all I'd have to do is just give it a little tug, and there you go. So now I have a completely mobile VTX and RX, and then here I have my the rest of the quad. And so let's say I break a camera. Just take the camera off and boom, unplug. So now I can take a camera somewhere else. And Mondo is super awesome about having these soldered up, as well as the Flight One kit comes with, the flight controller comes with all of the connectors. So if I want to put anything back, so let's say I break a camera and I want to swap one on. I have my little mount already preset up. I just plug it back in on the side, and I just pop the camera mount back on, and then in 4 screws, I'm ready to go back on, ready to go back up, which is just a beauty of Flight One. And I would bet you money that there's going to be some Beta Flight FCs in the future that do something similar. As well as you could just run. I know there's some people who have something against Flight One for who knows what reason. I personally run Flight One. I like it a lot, and it just works for my builds, especially the Switchback. But some people have some stuff against Flight One, so whatever. But you can put Beta Flight on a millivolt and have the same system, which has worked absolutely phenomenally for me. So then I just have my receiver and VTX again, and let's say, Nurk right now is soldering up all of these things, and I will race him. So let's pretend like this is a DRL heat. So we're gonna say go, and then Evan has the early lead. All right, his receiver soldered up. And then around the first lap, so now his VTX is soldered up, and then all right, so now we're done, and Nurk's still pinning his pads. No, but seriously, it is a really great system that works awesome. Most people that don't run Flight 1 like to put their VTX that has a plug on the top plate, and then they like to, with just double-sided sticky tape, and then they like to put their receiver either on their flight controller, on the back. On the back, we have some room in the back here, and then or under their camera, and then we also have a little spot. It's too late now to show on camera because the motor's already started up, but there's actually a spot under the ESC that has a little cutout, and you can put your receiver. If you plan out your builds properly, you can put your receiver underneath the ESC, and it has a perfect little cutout for any of the micro receivers like the Crossfire, Spectrum, any of the RXSRs, Futaba, etc., which we're really happy with. But this is the way I like to run it, and like I said, I get messages, it seems like every single day, of people wanting to know, and I really should just do a video of my own. But for those in the chat, then here's how this works. And like I was showing you before, I just showed you, I replaced all of these things in a second, and it was super, super easy. So that's the way I like to run it. And I'm sure Nerks doesn't have any plugs on any of those, but I'm sure that he will figure out the way that he likes to do it. So I'm going to put this back together.
I usually just VHB to the top of the flight controller because I don't like to have anything connected to the top plate because I want to be able to take the top plate off and on really fast. Totally. To be honest with you, even having the SMA on here like this is going to drive me crazy, but it's at least a longer cable so that it can kind of dangle over to the side. But I love just being able to take the top plate on, do the work, and then put the top plate back on.
Yeah, and that's why we'd like to have so many options. So that's why we have all the things on Thingiverse. So for example, people like Nerk who want to have everything mounted to the body per se of the quad, and they don't want to have their SMA or anything attached to the top plate. So we have mounts to where just like your classic mount where it just slides over the standoffs, and then your SMA goes on. It's like any other typical frame. The reason we did it attached to the top plate is that you could VHB your VTX to the top plate, put your SMA on the top plate, and then you can just take off your top plate, and you'll have a mobile VTX, which we really liked because we all know that bad video is the worst thing that can happen at a race. It's out of your control, and it just feels like you can't do anything about it, which sucks. So that's why we went with the camera mount on the top plate, that we can have a mobile VTX and even RX if you do it the way that I'm doing it with the Flight 1 plugs. But it all comes down to personal preference. We wanted to make this frame work for anyone, no matter what your preferences were, no matter what gear you were running. That's why it works with 30-30 and 20x20, your big VTXs, your big receivers, any of that, you can make it work somehow. And there's multiple different configurations that'll allow that. So, yeah, it all comes down to personal preference. It ships with the stuff that I and Mondo like to run, but in no time, the prints are all and files are all free online, and it's not a problem to get it exactly how you like it. Because we want, more than anything, we want people to be 100% confident in the gear. And that's something that I've found over racing over the years, is just that if you want to succeed or do the best, is you need to be confident in your gear. And whether that's just having a clean build, taking your time, it's all about just buying from, and this is why I continue to say, tell people that instead of spending or saving $5 extra or $20 extra on Banggood, waiting a month to get your stuff and not working, and you're out all the money and have to buy 2, 3, 4, 5 times, I will forever say you need to support the large companies who are putting in their own money. And this is not a plug for myself at all, but just like RunCam, Foxy, all the RunCam. I'm just.
I should plug my sponsors, RunCam and Foxeer. Wait a second.
Sorry, but
all right. Here's my pro tip. Pro tip number 1 for joining DRL: when you have to say your sponsors, get those right. So if you go up and you're like, "Oh, Swatch is a sponsor of one of our things," and you go on live TV and you say, "Thanks, Jarman," you're gonna get in trouble. I'm just saying.
Yeah. All right. Well, I'll start practicing. So. Technically, I wasn't listing my sponsors, so I'm listing quality brands.
I see.
So that was where I was going. I misspoke. So, and so I like the sport, and I always have for many, many years, or ever since the beginning. My dad, especially, he wants to support the brands that are always supporting giving back to the pilots. and like the racing organizations. So like Hobbywing, for example, they have been a top tier sponsor for all of the MultiGP races for especially recently, and that's not free. It doesn't come at that doesn't come for free. So that means that they've been putting in their own money to support racers. And even if they're not running, you're not running their products. They don't care. They just want to support racing in general, which I think is awesome. And I think, in my opinion, it's worth saving those extra few dollars to support companies like that. And I'll always forever say that. So then so that kind of ties back into what I was saying with 533 is that we always want no matter if you run our stuff or not, we want everything to be available online for you guys to use. So on our Thingiverse, I know that some of our parts actually fit other frames. I know Minchan, I hope I'm not getting him in trouble by saying this, but he uses this camera mount. It's posted on Thingiverse. It doesn't matter. I think it's hilarious that he uses our camera mount on one of his prototype frames. And he says it works great. So our biggest thing is we want to support as many pilots as we can, help out as much as we can, and just grow the brand and FPV in general. At the end of the day, myself and Mondo aren't trying to become millionaires or anything. That's just it's
That's unrealistic.
It's just a bonus.
So
yeah, it's unrealistic, and it's not going to happen. It's just for fun, and we just want people to have the best experience in FPV as possible. And that's what we're trying to do with 533. We're trying to come up and we've had multiple people come ask us for sponsors or sponsorships and whatnot. And they say, well, like, oh, I've won this many races and this, that, and the other. And this is just advice for sponsorships in general, especially the companies who have been in it for a while or who know a little bit of thing or two about it, is that it's better, at least in my opinion and from my experience so far, it's better to support the people who are just genuine people and who are just good people in general, who will go out to a field and help whoever get their quad going if they're having issues and whatnot. Those are the people that you always want to support. And that's why I really have a hard time sponsoring people that I haven't really met before. It's just like, you might put on, like, you might be good on the keyboard or whatever. Like, that doesn't matter. It's if you're out on the field helping out people constantly, building a good name for yourself in the community, then companies will want to support you. And that's the way that I've kind of taken 533 is like, we always want to support the people who might not be the fastest. Like, we don't have all the fastest pilots. It's impossible. They all have their own priorities and things like that. But we want to, regardless if we have the fastest, we want to have some amazing characters. That's why I've been so happy to work with Mondo. He's an amazing guy, always helping out. And we're trying to set like an example overall for other companies and just people in general to grow FPV. And like, we're not going to grow FPV if everyone's just like they won't talk to anyone or they think they're better than everyone. That's not how you're going to grow. We're not going to grow this. So that's what we've kind of built 533 around, is just positive vibes, I guess, and just helping grow. And we're not in it for our positive gain necessarily, but we're just wanting to help people out in general and just make sure everyone has a positive experience. And the easiest way to have positive experience is to follow. We all have these builds. We're always happy to help, especially if it's a 533 product, and we always want to make sure that when you're using something from 533 that it is premium and that you have 100% satisfaction. Or
your money back. No, just...
it sounds like people in the chat are saying them.
There he goes. Sounds like people in the chat are saying that they like Mondo. I think that's what he was going to say.
Am I back?
Yeah, we lost you. It sounds like people in the chat are saying that something Mondo was the last thing we heard from you.
Okay, so yeah, something about Mondo. Do you hear me now, though?
Yes.
Okay, great. As I was saying, people in the chat are being very supportive of Mondo. So I couldn't be happier to work with Mondo. He's been an amazing person to work with, always making sure that everything is in line. He's obviously an amazing engineer, responsible. Oh, good luck with getting that. And then, oh, you got it. Wow.
I've done this before, man.
Okay. So Mondo's been amazing, making sure that everyone has had a great experience. And then, like, I haven't been able to, and then he can't be there all the time. I can't be there all the time. So him and then Matt, as usual. Norkel says his mom loves Mondo, so that's funny.
Careful when
Yeah.
when your mom falls in love with a pilot, he's definitely going to take advantage of it. Just throwing that out there.
But yeah, Mondo's been amazing, and then Matt, as we were saying before, he's our website guy. Has also been a huge help. He, if you go into support on the put in a ticket on the page, you'll either talk to Mondo or Matt, and both of them are just amazing guys who do anything in their power to make sure that you have the best experience possible. And then, of course, if you message me personally, I'm always doing whatever I can to make sure you have the best experience as well. Also in the chat, someone asked where I got this hat. This is actually not FPV related at all. But yeah, it's all black. I like the matte black type style, but it's from I went to Oshkosh, which is like the world's largest like air show in the entire world. So I've gone there every year for the past, I went like in 2010, and then I've gone the last 3 years, and it's been really, really awesome. But Icon is a company. Icon A5 is their airplane, and I went to their booth, and they had a really cool hat. So I was like, hey, I want that. And then it was like for $15, I could have my own Icon A5 hat. So I've had this for a while now, and yeah, I really like it. And it sounded like this person liked it too. So I'm not sure if they sell it. If you want, I can pick you one up at Oshkosh and go next year. So just
There you go.
me.
All right, so we are pretty much buttoning this bad boy up.
Sweet.
What do you guys think about doing a? How do we want to do this? So we do need to do a giveaway at some point. So we're giving away one of these 533 switchbacks. It's going to be sent to you, signed from the Turner headquarters. I don't know if he's going to sign it, but he can if he wants.
You can pick if you want my dad to sign it or me to sign it. I mean,
damn! You know that it's going to be your dad signing it.
Yeah, I know.
So what I usually do for this is I go and ooh, wait, how do I want to do this? Can we do a random Facebook comment picker? Let me just see. Okay, yeah, cool. All right. So what I'm gonna do? Oh, but not everybody has Facebook. Shoot. How do we do this? So you are. Do you have the ability to upload to your YouTube really quick?
My internet is so terribly
Okay, never
slow.
mind.
Like it would, yeah.
Let me think about this. So like what I used to do when I did streams a lot more is I would create like we do like a video like right here, and I would just be like, hey, what's up? Oh, I'll do a Facebook community or a YouTube community post. Okay, and I'll share the link in the chat.
Okay.
Okay, so what I'm gonna do is we're gonna open this up for about 2 minutes, maybe 3 minutes.
Oh boy.
And so you guys, only the people that are here live will be able to enter in this contest. That was kind of an important part of this. And what I'm going to do is on the Facebook community tab, I can create a post that is going to just be like, hey, we're live right now. If you want to join in, if you want to get this frame, leave a comment below, and then I'll run a random comment picker to go pull a comment from that post. So I'm gonna go post that right now. I'm gonna put that link in the description in the chat, so you guys can all go click it. I'll put it in there a few times so it doesn't get lost in the chat. And then you guys just jump over there, comment, and then we'll pick a random comment from that, and that will be the winner to whom Evan will ship the frame. During that time, we'll also do the plug-in, see if it lights on fire, all that fun stuff. So I'm gonna go make that post right now. Actually, I'm gonna use my phone so that we can do a picture with it, because I think that's cooler. Selfie mode. Clean off the selfie camera. And give us a wave, Evan.
Wave.
You're kind of in there. Why is it? It's on a 5-second timer. Hold on. Okay, now I'm gonna go post that on Facebook, or sorry, on YouTube. I keep misspeaking. Let's see. Nerk. My channel. Community. Comment
And
on this
then
post to win.
whoever does win the giveaway, just message me on Facebook, Instagram, whatever. Once again, Heads Up FPV is my Instagram, and my Facebook is Evan Turner. So yeah, just message me, and I will get that out to you as soon as possible. Also, I'd say if you do win, go on our site and pick which TPU color. Obviously, Nerd has the mismatched look going on. If you want mismatch, hey, you're a giveaway winner. You don't have to put it on the site, so we can go mismatched. So all of our cover colors are available on the site. So just let me know, and we'll get that out to you ASAP.
Okay, let's see. I'm pulling this up right now. Can I link directly to this? Yes, I can. And going over to chat, and I'm posting it in chat right. Holy crap, chat's going crazy. Go away. Comment here to win. Boom. Okay. And actually, I don't know if I'm allowed to do this or not. So I'm going to talk about this really quick while you guys are. One of the things that I want to do is I want to plug my channel's memberships program. So one of the things that I've started in 2020 is that I've opened up the YouTube memberships platform, and it's kind of like a Patreon. It's a thing where you have the ability to choose a level that you want to invest, like in this channel to see more content and things in the future. It ends up being like a monthly amount that you would pay goes mostly to me, some to YouTube. If you're interested in doing that, I would love to have you participate in that. I just want to use this as an open platform to say, like, we're here, we're building these drones to kind of help teach you guys about what's going on out there, what the drone is, and anything that you guys can do to be a part of that is really, really beneficial to me and to hopefully in the long term the sport and the hobby itself. And what I think I'm going to do for tonight is that anybody that joins tonight as a member of anyone that joins tonight, I will buy and send them a 533 Switchback. So that's not coming from Evan or anything like that. I will buy it and have it shipped to you directly. So out of anybody there, I'll do a random giveaway against any new members that sign up tonight because I can pull that information. So if you're interested, please do. Cannot comment. Wait, hold on.
Yeah, everyone's saying it doesn't work.
Oh, maybe I should get this figured out
I was
first.
gonna let you finish.
That's funny. Hold on.
Let's see.
A bunch of people. No, there's like 100. There's like 25 comments already. So why is it not working? Is everybody signed? I think you might have to be signed into YouTube.
It's not. I mean, I know Mondo was probably if they're commenting, then they're logged in. So
yeah, that's a good point. All right, well, I will keep this open until we get this figured out. Sorry, guys. Don't worry. Yeah, it's funny. So I'll be honest. This is the first time that I've any level of membership. I just left comment. Yeah, so you click comment at the bottom. Pacific Northwest Pilots is having problems. You can always do a random number generator and then count down the comments on the video. Yeah, we can do that. If the link isn't working, just go to the post in your subscription feed. Yeah, so if you're subscribed to my channel, it should show up right there. That's weird. I don't know why it's doing that. Also, you should make something funny, too, by the way.
Make something funny. What do you mean?
Like, whatever comment you leave.
Oh, okay.
I feel like there's not enough comments yet for this to have been...
Okay, see, well, it looks like it's letting me do it on PC, but they're saying it doesn't work on mobile.
Doesn't work on mobile? Weird.
Yes.
Let me try to pull a mobile link then. Sorry, guys. I didn't mean for this to be so troublesome. I figured it would work the same as anything else. Has worked. Let's see. Of course, this opens my YouTube. No, okay. And then if I go to...
Try.
I'm not. It's not showing up in my mobile browser. But you should be able to do it. So, are you guys trying it? Are the people that are having problems? Are you doing it from mobile browser?
That's what it sounds like.
Oh, I should play some music in the background. I actually had it all queued up and I never did.
It just says post with, yeah, it says that they have 9.8 thousand subscribers.
Hmm.
Yeah, it's not working on mobile. I'm doing it through the app.
Works fine on iPhone. Mondo can't do it in the app. That's what, like, that's making me nervous. Okay, all right, hold on. So we're gonna cancel that. Let me figure out something else. I guess I'll just post a. I don't want to put. I'll post an unlisted video, and then you can comment to the unlisted video. Yeah, that'll work. Okay, let's try that.
That should work. Yeah.
Okay. Here we go again. Video. Okay. Hey, if you're seeing this video, it's because you got an unlisted link to the NERC FPV channel. We're currently doing a live stream right now to give away a Fly 533 Switchback. I keep saying your Instagram handle. And comment below something funny. I don't care what it is to win. We'll use a random comment picker shortly to choose the winner. Okay, that's recorded. Okay, hold on. So now I'm going to post this to YouTube as an unlisted video. Sorry, guys. I really apologize. We'll get this figured out as we get back into this. YouTube, upload video, this one, and make it unlisted, post. Okay, so that's uploading. It won't be long. Andy G, welcome to the membership program. Really excited to have you a part of this. Something I should have said before is like I'll be putting up a whole bunch of content that I wouldn't normally have a place to upload. So like little behind the scenes clips, unused clips, full flights from videos rather than compilations, all that sort of stuff. For certain levels of membership, you get swag. Everyone gets access to my private Discord, which sounds really silly, but it's a nice. I like to keep it that tight knit community so that we can all chat and share information together, and that's a good way to kind of grow that smaller bit, but. Yeah, and then we're waiting on this upload, 95, 96, 99% processing. Okay, let me go get that link. All right, I'm going to drop this new link in the chat so that you can actually click this. Sorry about the trouble again, everybody. And going into chat right now. Comment on this video to win. Boom. Okay. So while you guys are doing that, let's do a fire test. So one of the for those of you that's your first time tonight joining us, one of the standing jokes on this is that I never test plug-in quads. I don't use a smoke stopper. Not because it's the way to do it, it's because I'm obstinate, and it's become a rolling gag now because it's really, really freaking funny when I absolutely destroy a quad on here. So, literally, we have no idea what's about to happen. It could explode. It could turn into a fireball here on the bench. Yeah, I love how many people dropped out as soon as they made their comment. You got to be here to win. I should have said that earlier. How do you comment? How do you join membership? The membership is like a join button, like it's in the bottom left, like right underneath the thing. So this right here, this plug goes hot to a 3S power supply. So are you guys ready to find out if this works?
I'm so scared.
Okay, 3, 2, 1, plug. Just kidding. Wait, hold on. Yeah, just kidding. We're good. Plugging it in now.
Oh, I heard tones.
I heard tones here. I'll bring my mic closer this time. does actually sound kind of funny, but it does seem to be powering up, so that's good. We'll check. Let's see. We've got radio is powering up. God, that sounds really sickly.
The comment section just exploded.
You suck. I like how the who is it? Eric Stopper says every dang time. Great joke, Dad. So I am actually worried to plug it in because it's like it feels like it's like halfway.
So,
Frick. Okay, let's. I will check it with a multimeter really quick before I plug in a full battery. So I am using like a power supply to plug in.
Gotcha.
Continued from last link. Nerk needed beard wax. What? Okay, continuity. Okay, here we go. Plugging in. Okay, it's not shorting, so something must just be funky with the power supply. We'll try a 4S battery first. Okay, for real, this might actually blow up. I don't know what's going on. No, it just sounds really bad. That's all. Like it's like kind of like a grindy sound, like like it's not like a pleasant normal sound. Okay, so I do see receiver is on. Is the VTX on? I think so. I don't remember where the LED is. Okay, so let's check and see if we've got video. That's on. That's got the battery in. My dog just heard all the beeping and is like, "Is it time to chase a quad?" Okay, it's probably on R1. No video. Okay, that does not appear to be on. So I know that this flight controller has a pit switch, so that might be.
Yeah, you have to be connected for it.
I thought I switched it over to on. My ESC with a bad diode sounded exactly like that.
Yeah, people are saying it sounds like it's a bad. I mean, I would think if you built enough quads, Paul, that you'd know how to build a quad.
Test arm for fire. 6S send it.
Yeah, I say you just go 6S at this point.
Alright.
Filipino.
If worst case scenario, at least you guys get to see fire.
Yeah, exactly.
Here we go. This is a 6S.
Give the people what they want.
It's the same. Any motor's getting hot? Nope.
That's good.
Let's see. I'm just checking.
Sean M says test arm for fire. Plug her into beta flight and let her rip. It's my vote.
Alright. Let's see. Need a USB cable. Sometimes you just gotta send her, bud. Oh, where's my... Got a nice long USB with an extension right here, so that I can leave the drone under the camera. Just came across your live channel, bro. Sup? It's those solder beads. He might have a point. Okay. Oh, this is really out of focus.
I think you should just go from 0 to full throttle.
You think? All right.
Yeah, well, okay, yeah, just do whatever.
Let's see. I need to do window capture. No, not window, sorry. I'll just do desktop. Display capture. Full desktop. Okay. And I'm going to push this back to here. And then push this back there. Okay. So, Bader flirt. Okay. Get rid of that. Get you out of the way. Comp 10. Okay, so it's on. That's good. Motors. Oh, I need to show you guys the quad in case it does blow up. Put this over that. Bring that down. Nope. Wrong one. There we go. I understand. Power. Nothing. Is it on? It might not be on. Let's try D shot.
Oh, that does sound a little unhealthy. I'll give it that.
It's not even. Oh, they're trying.
Oh,
There it goes. Did you see the smoke?
I'm lagged. I'm way behind.
Oh
I have to go see
no.
another stream.
Oh yeah, she's done. That's not good.
I think it was inevitable.
Yep, that's yes.
Oh, it's rebooting down too.
Yeah, the ESC4 was bad out of the box.
Nice. Oof.
Oh, that's nice and smelly, boys.
Oh, there! I just now saw the smoke on the stream.
What did you do? Do it again. Yep.
Oh, you-
No, that's a bad out of the box ESC. So we haven't done anything to it yet. They were all the ports are clear. This is why I like Hobbywing so much, dude. Chat's going crazy. 180 concurrent viewers just to see that. I can smell it from here.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
No. I still want it for my wall of shame. I'll get a Hobbywing 20x20 put in here and make it actually work. Don't you worry. Maybe you have a bad motor. Paul's King of Fire. Sometimes take the quad gods take there too. F in the chat. This live stream is brought to you by Hobbywing, smoking Econ Electronics since 2020. This is what I get. The Hobbywing knew that I was not using a Hobbywing ESC in here, and they
Quad gods.
they
Trying to
spiked.
tell you something. Someone donated $2.
Donnie donates $2. Thanks, man. Appreciate it. That'll get me 1/80th of the way to paying off that ESC. No, 1/20th. Might have figured. Come off. Yeah, look at that one right there. It desoldered that motor even.
Oh man.
Check if the ESC is touching the press nuts. It's not. I put, well, hold on.
Uh-oh.
That's a good idea. Oh, that might be what it is, boys. Let's see. I gotta get this all the way off, sorry.
Yeah, if you tighten down those nuts too much, I bet it's touched. You need to put spacing underneath there. Could be.
This is my number 2 pro tip for the night is don't try to build a drone live.
Oh yeah, that looks really low now that you turned it sideways.
It's amazing how fast these come apart after you've spent so much time putting them together.
Oh yeah. It's been 2 hours putting them together.
Yeah, okay. So maybe try to zoom. So if you look, keep this, I'm going to put this down all the way. I don't know if this is the better way to do it or not. Womp womp.
Sky, he says, get yourself a new ESC, $2.
Can you guys see? I'm going to try how not to build video. Need a Hobbywing ESC I can send on. No, it's okay. I'll talk to Hobbywing. I'm sponsored by Hobbywing. I just didn't have the part ready for tonight's stream. So if you can see this one right here, I bet you that was touching something on the frame, and that's what did it, because it's right up against the press nut. Let's get this heat sink off. How is that on there?
Well, this is a build video that's educational, so that just goes to show that you definitely do need to have proper spacing underneath your ESC, because yeah, there are press nuts there for the compression screws. So if you choose to keep those in there, then you should definitely, I think most, I mean, I know that we all have so many ESCs, flight controllers and stuff that are all dead that have gummies in there. To just cut one of those in half, or even use a full one, just slide that on first before you put the ESC on, and that'll just space it up just a hair, and that will keep that from happening. Obviously, Nerd got a little bit ahead of himself, I think, but you know, that's part of general. And then that also goes to show that even if you've been building quads for X amount of years, like Nerd has, you still make mistakes.
I'm not even seeing the damage. Like everything looks really good here still.
That's crazy.
Like I would expect, like, unless it's like underneath this, but I would expect like one of these to be cooked. This was the motor pad that had desoldered itself. There was no motors bridging because they all spun freely. There was no fet drag on it. That's all clean. That's clean. Yeah, it was motor 4 that went up, right? Yeah. So the only damage I can see is down here. But I don't even, it doesn't even look that bad. I don't understand. Well,
Unless, well, it's just way of the road.
let's see some smoke as my comment for the frame giveaway. Now I feel bad we actually saw smoke. Well, let's do a giveaway. We don't need to end on a low note, or I guess a high note, depending on how you look at it. Let's see. So I am going to, let's grab this camera and come over here a little ways. Oh shit! Excuse me. Darn. That was my phone almost flying off the desk. Okay. That fan is perfectly placed right now. Plug it in once more. Okay. I'll go straight 6S. Ready? Let me zoom in for you.
You got a rotator chip.
I hope it goes up again, because that would be exciting. 3, 2, 1. Nothing.
Ah, there was so fun in that.
This is actually plugged in. I'm not just messing with you guys this time. Anyway. So yeah. Post the link again. Can I have a multiple comment? No, it will pick only one out of it. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and show my desktop again, which looks like that. And then I'm going to pull up this video that we already made. We had 87 views. Well, hold on, I can see actual comment count here in a second. One moment. Trying to pull up chat again. So what we're going to do is, so you guys have all commented on this video. There's 55 comments, it looks like. Maybe, yep, 55. And then we go to YouTube random comment picker. Somebody asked, is that antenna mount available to download? Actually, I like this one.
Yeah. all available on 533's Thingiverse page. So just look at 533 on Thingiverse, and you will have it.
So if I put the link to this video, oh, oh my gosh, did I get the wrong link? It's like it has the right count of comments and everything. Okay. All right. YouTube random comment picker. Let's go to this first one instead. Maybe that other one. That other one's pretty old, so maybe it's gone out of date now. Paste the URL. Get comments.
Yeah.
And
Maybe just do a random number generator and just count down them or something.
it's weird. It's like, wait.
Is it because it might be because it's unlisted. It can't see the comments.
Oh, here. No, I just have to click this button instead. Okay. So supposedly, when I click this button, we will see who the winner is. Sorry. 3, 2, 1, click. Hey, look at that. Winner, Ragnarok FPV. Nice. Thanks for the giveaway. Well, if I made the frame, it'd be the 445 Switchback.
4, 2.
Ragnarok.
Yeah,
Ragnarok FPV.
There he is.
Here he is on YouTube. Let's watch one of his videos. Dude, 2 months in Singapore? Wait, was he the one? He was... I think he commented at the beginning. Ragnarok, just start. He's in the chat telling me how to do this. That's funny.
So I have to send this to Singapore? That'll be fun.
We could probably ask him to help ship it as well if he's still there.
Oh, I thought, yeah, I'm sure we can figure something out.
Play. I'm gonna drop this resolution down a little bit because my throughput on my internet is not great. Come on, play, please. I want to see Ragnarok fly. Man, I can't believe I blew that thing up. My bad, boys. Wow, this is hilarious.
The scenery's pretty good. I'll give them that.
I know, I'm stoked. That's why I really want to watch this right now. Oh, look at this. I want to go on that boat. Oh, wow, look at the city there.
Whoa.
So I've never been to Singapore, but I thought Singapore was pretty small and really densely populated. So I was kind of like, is there trees to fly?
Do they have trees there?
I know they have trees, okay, but like, is there space? Yeah, like I've seen that building because it's in the background of the Formula One track, which is like the only thing I know about Singapore.
Yeah.
Look at that. They're all planted. Dude. Looks sick.
That's super cool.
Cool. Well, congratulations, Ragnarok. Everybody definitely go give him a sub. I'll drop this YouTube video in here so you guys can jump in on that action. Go to live streaming, chat, paste. Okay. What are we doing now? Where is this thing? All right. Sorry, these will get smoother, I promise. Ba-da-bum-bum. Put that back down. Okay, so ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for joining us for this week's episode of, not this week, but I'm going to try to do these probably once a month for everybody that is just normal subscribed, and I think I'm going to do maybe a little bit another one, like an unlisted one for members only. If they're interested in that, I haven't kind of playing around with those ideas. So come jump over in the Discord. We'll chat about it. I it's funny that the quad didn't work tonight. Is a little bit of an oopsie there. That's totally on me. It has nothing to do with the frame, obviously. But yeah, so I appreciate you guys hanging out through the whole build. We're super stoked to send that frame out to Ragnarok and the winner through the membership. Also, I'll reach out to that person directly. I hope that you guys had fun, that you laughed a little bit, that you just, we could take it easy, relax, hang out, enjoy Monday night together. Thank you so much to Evan, our guest star. Do you have any parting words you like to say from your first NERC FPV live stream?
Yeah, this has been definitely a blast. I didn't think that it would go this well, quite honestly. First of all, I'd just like to thank anyone and everyone who has supported 533. Really, 533 has been like everything I've been putting my time towards recently, especially since Nationals. So it's something I really care about, and I'm super proud to support. Obviously, I'd like to thank the biggest guys who make it happen, which is Armando, who does amazing stuff to make it work, and then also Matt Hill, who's our web guy and also does some support stuff for us. They've done amazing. They've done just awesome stuff to make sure that 533 is great, and everyone has really liked them. I couldn't ask for two better guys to help me with 533. I hope you guys can, even though if you didn't win the giveaway, I hope you guys can pick up a switchback for yourself, maybe some motors. I'm sure you guys, I'm lagged on the stream, but some motors on here. They look sweet with this whole this blue and black and gray and teal. But yeah, if you guys have any questions, I seriously I would love for you guys to shoot me a message. I'm always happy to help. And please buy my jersey on DRL instead of NERCs this coming season. I'm just kidding.
Wow.
Yeah.
Hold on. Hold that thought. Keep going.
Okay. But again, thanks to, I'm pretty sure what he's about to show you, but, and then thanks to NERC for allowing me to be on the stream, for helping support 533. I know that he was really excited and he was happy with the frame. And yeah, I mean, he obviously has a big social media that can help get the frame out to as many people as possible. So again, if you guys want your own, $50, you can have the stack screws, 3D prints, everything you want. 533fly533.com. Go ahead and get yourself some. The motors will be here in about a week or two-ish, and I will ship those out as fast as I humanly can. Those will definitely be out by the end of January. I can 99% assure you that. And yeah, once again, thank you all for the support. You'll see me on DRL this season and competing with NERC, so I'm sure that'll be a blast. But yeah, more than anything,
Evan's jersey doesn't come with one of these. I'm just saying.
Okay. Let me see here. Let's see. DRL 2019 seasonal standings. Oh,
fifth is good. Fifth in the world.
Hey,
it's better than not on the list.
Okay. All right. We'll settle this on the chat.
All right, yeah, that's good.
That goes back to our competitive nature, I'm sure. Yeah, thank you guys for watching. It seemed like we had over 100 viewers the entire time, which is great, and I really hope you guys enjoyed it. This was a blast for me. Hopefully we can do more things like this in the future. I'm sure NERC sounds like he's going to be doing a lot more like this, so definitely stay tuned. I'm sure I'll be in the stream, in the chat and stuff like that. So, yeah, thanks again, NERC, for having me on. Hope you guys enjoyed it, and I have school in the morning, so I gotta go to school.
Fun. Well, yeah, and just to cap that all off, Evan, thanks for being a guest. You carried the show tonight while I struggled with the build. Really struggled with the build, but it was a good time. I really enjoyed chatting with you and picking your brain on the frame design, all those thoughts, all that stuff. Thanks everybody for joining us tonight. There's been an absolute blast. It reminds me kind of the early days of this channel were pretty much founded in doing live stream builds. So I'm really stoked to be back doing it again, and I hope that you guys can help support me to do more. Yeah, just to sign off, I'll kind of run that last intro video of the of the Switchback, so you guys can check that out one more time. And then I'm sure I'll get around to posting, I'll post pictures and videos and stuff of the frame on Facebook and YouTube and Instagram and all that, so you'll get to see a whole lot more, I'm sure, especially once I get it actually flying. I'm sure it's going to make a vlog now because it exploded on stream and I've got it all recorded. So and yeah, so thanks to everybody for joining us tonight. It's been our pleasure to host you. Stay flying.
Hey guys.